Godzilla's biggest battles in movie history. Ever found yourself cheering for a giant lizard? Well, you're not alone. Today, we're diving deep into the colossal world of Godzilla, the king of the monsters. From stomping through cities to battling other towering titans, Godzilla has been a cinematic staple for decades. The Showdown with King Kong, 1962 and 2021. First up, let's talk about the ultimate monster face-off, Godzilla vs. King Kong. Back in 1962, moviegoers witnessed the first epic clash between these two legends in King Kong vs. Godzilla. Picture it. Retro special effects, guys in rubber suits, and a fight that was as much about bragging rights as it was about sheer destruction. Fast forward to 2021, and we got a modern rematch in Godzilla vs. Kong. Seeing them duke it out in a neon-lit Hong Kong was nothing short of spectacular. These battles weren't just about two monsters brawling, they were cinematic events that brought fans together from both franchises. It's like watching your favorite sports teams go head-to-head. The eternal rivalry with King Ghidorah. Now, if there's one foe that really gives Godzilla a run for his money, it's King Ghidorah. Ghidorah made his grand entrance in Ghidorah, the Three-Headed Monster, 1964, establishing himself as Godzilla's arch-nemesis. They've clashed in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, 1991, and Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 2019. The stakes were higher with jaw-dropping visuals and an all-out titan war that shook the planet. King Ghidorah isn't just another monster, he's the challenge for Godzilla. Their battles often decide the fate of the world, making Ghidorah's appearances a big deal for fans everywhere. The clash with Mothra. Switching gears a bit, let's talk about Mothra, the giant, mystical moth goddess. Unlike most kaiju, Mothra is often on humanity's side. Their first big tussle was in Mothra vs. Godzilla, 1964. This wasn't just a monster beatdown, it was a clash of ideals. They crossed paths again in Godzilla, Tokyo SOS, 2003, reminding us that sometimes frenemies make the best stories. Mothra brings themes of nature and spirituality into the mix. It's about deeper meanings and messages. The mechanical menace Mechagodzilla. Ever thought, what if Godzilla had a robot twin? Enter Mechagodzilla, first appearing in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, 1974. This mechanical doppelganger was designed to take down the Big G himself. Armed with lasers, missiles, and all sorts of gadgets, Mechagodzilla was a force to be reckoned with. He made a comeback in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, 1993, and Godzilla vs. Kong, 2021. These battles were a blend of brute strength and high-tech warfare. It was nature versus machine, highlighting humanity's attempts to control or overpower the natural order. The ultimate threat of Destoroyah. Now, let's get into some heavy territory with Destoroyah. In Godzilla vs. Destoroyah, 1995, Destoroyah emerges as a creature born from the very weapon that originally killed the first Godzilla, the Oxygen Destroyer. The battle between Godzilla and Destoroyah was intense and, honestly, kinda heartbreaking. Godzilla experiences a nuclear meltdown, leading to some of the most emotional scenes in the franchise. The genetic terror of Biollante. Ever mix a giant lizard, a rose, and some human DNA? Someone did, and we got Biollante. In Godzilla vs. Biollante, 1989, scientists create Biollante, a massive plant monster with ties to Godzilla himself. Biollante's abilities challenged Godzilla in new ways and delved into themes like genetic engineering and the ethical limits of science. It's a standout entry that adds depth to the series. The space-born nemesis Space Godzilla. Just when you thought things couldn't get weirder, along comes Space Godzilla. In Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, 1994, we learn that Godzilla's cells floated into space and got mixed with a black hole, resulting in a space version of our favorite kaiju. The clash was on an epic, cosmic scale. With new powers and heightened stakes, this battle took the franchise to new heights. Facing the MUTOs. Bringing it back to more recent times, let's chat about the MUTOs, massive unidentified terrestrial organisms. In Godzilla, 2014, Godzilla returns to face off against these gigantic parasitic creatures. The film had a more grounded, realistic approach, showing the havoc these monsters would wreak in our world. The battles were intense, with Godzilla showcasing some classic moves while also giving us fresh thrills. It was a modern reintroduction that satisfied longtime fans. The Titan battles in the Monsterverse. Speaking of new eras, let's dive into the Monsterverse. In Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 2019, we saw an all-out Titan Royal Rumble featuring Rodan, Mothra, and a returning King Ghidorah. The film was a visual feast. The battles were grand, and it felt like a love letter to fans of the classic kaiju films. And the best part? There's more to come. So there you have it. A stroll down memory lane with Godzilla's biggest and baddest battles. From duking it out with King Kong to facing off against space monsters and mechanical foes, Godzilla has done it all. Thanks for hanging out and geeking out over Godzilla with me. If you've got a favorite Godzilla moment or battle that I didn't mention, drop it in the comments below. Let's keep the convo going. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more monster-sized content, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.